Come on in. Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name is Katie O'Neill and I am so excited to show you today's coach. This is probably one of the most amazing little pocket knives we've ever carried here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We carry a lot of big stuff. This is a lot of big stuff in a little tiny package. So as usual, I like to start my videos from the inside out. Jody, go ahead and take her on back. This is a 2025 Winnebago EKKO, and this is on the Ford Transit chassis. Now, of course, there's also one on a Mercedes-Benz chassis, but one of the benefits is that this coach is only 23 feet long versus 24.6. It's also going to be very, very good in the mountains because it's an all-wheel drive coach. It's also awesome because it is going to be it's a gas engine. So as opposed to a diesel engine, whoa, I really got my air conditioning cranking right now. This is a really cool feature because this is actually a gas engine. And Jody, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my fan down just a little bit. There we go. Of course, as I mentioned, this has got the air condition kicking right now. I'm also running my quiet gas generator, which is awesome. I'm sitting in my great big bedroom. One of the things that's so nice about this coach is going to be that you've got these great big windows on either side of your RV. And then up on the top corner here, you've got a little cable inlet as well as plugs. So if you would like to mount a television, that's very common for people to do. Another great feature on this coach is going to be that we have connectivity so many different places to the roof of the vehicle. So for instance, you've got your USB ports here, you've got your 110 outlets here, and then you've got a grommet here, so if you need to drop a cord down, you can. But as you can see, you've also got all of this room up here to store any of your devices. So if you wanted to have, your books up there, maybe you wanted to keep your laptop, all of those things, so that while you're, sitting in bed watching TV, you could also have all of your work supplies readily available. Or if you just want to read a book at night, you've got these really handy dandy, cool little night lights. I also love the fact that they have different colors. So there's like a nice bright light, or as you saw, that nice blue light, so you can see at night. And then this is a great feature of this coach. So you'll see this is on both sides. I have the day shade up here. I can release that and drop that down. I could also have this screen if I wanted to. And then as you can see, I have the window completely open. So this is such a nice feature that you can get all of that fresh air coming in and then very easily close it. And you can close it so that it's just right here in this little pocket and it still has some ventilation, or you can go one step further and close it all the way. So again, a really good feature of this coach. Another great feature of this coach, of course, is that you have a ton of storage here. So his and hers, sock drawer, underwear, all of those things. And then on top of it, you also have hanging space. So having that hanging space is such a nice feature. Now, if you like to make it into a bed, there's a few different things that we can do. First and foremost, you can put this piece here, right here in the middle, and you could have a whole entire bed back here. Or if you are like a lot of my clients that say, oh, I've got a dog, I need a place for my puppy to sleep, you can literally just remove this cushion. You don't even need to bring it with you. And you could have a place here for your pooch to hang out with this really nice, like easy stairway where your pooch could get all the way up and down the stairs. So I love that. Also, you have another great pocket door here. So these pocket drawers are just so handy. As we all know, it's so nice to have a place to keep all of your goods while you're camping. And then such a nice thing to be able to hang things as well. So really, really great features here. Jody, would you mind just handing me that measuring tape? So you get about 4 inches, he's shaking his head. You're gonna get about 4 inches more space with the Mercedes-Benz. But I wanted to just show you, this is 76 inches long. So that's really generous. I have the bunks in my Superstar are only 72, and this is about 31 inches wide. And I kept this out, I wanted to show, this is a cool wicking mattress. So this material is actually cool to the touch. So this is a really nice feature of this coach. And then also you'll see down here, we have the Fraioli, this really cool, it's almost like a box spring made out of plastic. So this is a very, very comfy place to get some shut-eye at night. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got this air conditioning and it is kicking and it's right here. So your thermostatic control is easy to access in the middle of the coach. Your Truma system is going to replace what was a traditional furnace. So this is actually running like a hydronic system where you've got a tube of hot liquid that's actually circulating underneath the coach and pushing air over that tube, keeping it warm, and that's going to run off of your propane tanks. And that actually is one of my favorite things about this RV, is that it has 2 propane tanks that you could literally go pick up from Home Depot. You could pick them up from any gas station. You're not worried about actually having to go to a fueling station to have those filled. Now, of course, we've got this nice cover here, and then to the right of that we have our refrigerator. So this refrigerator isn't just a cool refrigerator that's 5.2 gallon or 5.2 cubic feet, but it also has its own separate ice box. So very unique, of course, made by Norcold, very popular camping product. We all know, very low draw, very efficient. You've got a nice little drawer up here for your meats and cheeses, little veggie drawer down below. You've got door storage as well, so all of your drinks. And there are adjustable levels, so you can have things higher or lower. You just pop these out and move them up. But so great feature there. And this refrigerator will stay working while the coach is tilted. So if you're parked, you know, along a little bit of a, you know, iffy spot while you're out hiking for the day and you've got your refrigerator on, all your goods will stay cool. Now that leads us to one of the best features of this coach. Take a look at this shower. So such a nice feature here to have so much room in your shower. And that's not all. I mean, that's the crazy thing about this RV is, okay, so you've got this shower, right? So first of all, I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I have plenty of headroom. I've got my little shower curtain right here. But if you're getting ready in the morning and you want to have a little privacy, check out this loo. Such a great toilet, and it swivels, so you can have as much room as you want. There's also a little place again where you can have that privacy that you're looking for, whether you want a day shade or a night shade. And then you've got a great little place to keep all of your toiletries up there. And again, this is not going to be a wet bath because of the fact that it has this cool partition that moves back and forth, giving you all of the flexibility of both. So as you can see here, your TP does not have to go in a little plastic holder. It can stay right where it's at. Plenty of room to brush your teeth, get ready in the morning, and then if you want to take that shower, again, tons of room in here. I mean, I don't know if you want to show this little drain down here, but this bamboo that they have here is so cool because this is removable, so you can get down there and clean out underneath that area. So just really great design. Now, don't want to lose. Jody, what did you do with my measuring tape? Oh, you don't know where it's at? Oh, Jody was so excited for a minute there. So one of the things I wanted to do today is I wanted to kind of cover, you know, what kind of space you have and where, because there's a lot of videos out there on this EKKO, but one of the things that's nice to see is you've got just over 15.5 inches of height in here. The entrance itself is just over 14 inches, and then the width itself is going to be just about 12.5 inches wide. Now, why this matters is if you've got a coffee pot that's more than 13 inches deep, it's not going to fit. But if you have a coffee pot that's 13 inches deep, it'll fit just fine. This is a little recover system, by the way. Anybody who's concerned about parking their unit outside and theft, this little guy is a tracking device. We use them to find the RVs throughout our parking lot. But you can actually pay about $800 and have a 3-year subscription where you can go on your phone and see where your coach is, and if it starts moving and you're not in it, it's going to send you a text notification. So pretty cool stuff there. So this Greystone microwave is another great feature. So many of our coaches, for instance, like the Revel, which is also all-wheel drive, don't have a microwave integrated into the coach. This has got a microwave, and as you can hear, well, you know what, you probably can't hear because it's really quiet. I've got the generator running right now. So this has a 320 amp hour Lithionics battery. Cool feature. You can, you know, track your app. You can like log in, watch, make sure it's got plenty of power. You could add in a second one and have 640 amp hours and still have this 2800 gas generator. This generator, of course, we know gas generators are a little bit quieter than diesel generators. Winnebago's really made kind of a step to move more towards gas anyhow. But one of the things that's so nice about that is if you're not plugged in and you're parked under a canopy of trees and, you know, your solar isn't enough to keep your coach up and running, what are you going to do? Well, you just turn your generator on and you can keep Fido at home and go for your hike and come back and not worry about having cooked dogs for dinner, just hot dogs for dinner. So that's a good thing. Another thing that's great about this coach and a little bit different than the 23B is going to be that you have a dual burner gas stove, again running off of your propane in your kitchen as opposed to the induction. Of course, this is a much lower power draw. So for those of you that are used to drive or that like the induction cooktops like myself, I have a Superstar. It's got a ton of solar on top of it. It's got 8 AGM batteries underneath it, so 800 amp hours of battery power. I still have to run my generator to operate my induction cooktop. One of the things that's nice about this coach is if you're not you know, wanting to run your generator, it might be quiet hours at night, you're just running your propane, there's no, of course, noise affiliated with that. You can keep that up and running. Another great feature in this coach, of course, is going to be a storage. And this weathered teak that you see here is part of your juniper interior. I love this weathered teak look. For those of you that are looking for something that's a little bit earthier, they have the verdant and the weathered teak. This is just a nice synthetic wood. And as you can see, tons of storage space in this kitchen. And here's all of your remotes. So you'll see here we have a JBL remote and an Insignia remote. That is because we do have the optional TV package. And our Sony remote here. And then our Max Air is our Air Excel remote. That's for your air conditioning. So if you are laying in bed and you want to be able to operate that, you can do that. And then you'll see these little guys, because of these latches, just latch shut. I just came back from Estes Park. It's kind of funny. I'm like walking back into the treadmill. I've been camping for like the last week. So it's my first day back at work and I'm like, oh my God, video, go live in 10 minutes. Here we are. But you know, one of the things that happened was coming down through those wild turns that you have coming out of Estes is, you know, one of my drawers flew open. You're not going to worry about that with these latches. It's a really cool system that's going to keep everything in place. And then here on your transit chassis, you'll see you have this adjustable shelving area. And this is a really nice feature. So these little shelves are going to be they're going to be adjustable. They've got a little bit of a pivot to the back of this area. But as you can see, you can change the height of all of them. So they go all the way down to here. So you can change what you've got in there in terms of stowing your stuff. And if you're looking for measurements, once again, go ahead and just measure this right here. The narrowest depth is going to be just over 6 inches. And then the deepest area is just going to be just over 10. And then you're going to be looking for something that's going to be less than 7.5 inches wide. So if you're looking for storage containers, of course the container store is awesome. Pull up there and get outside and get everything measured to what you want and get the little boxes that you use to keep all your cereal and stuff in. Highly recommend that. Anything that's airtight, you're going to have less attraction for mice. We always get mice in our coach. So up here you'll see we have our overhead curtain and we also have our Therma window coverings. This is going to help us keep that heat out of the front. As you can see, this is just going to attach here to where you see these snaps. So you'll have a nice dark area if you did want to be able to keep the sun out in the morning to be able to sleep in. But as you can see, very durable, nice reinforcement here where you're not worried about this shelf coming down. It's really well made, and again reinforced with these like metal apparatus. And it's funny, I wouldn't know to mention these things except for the fact that I got people that come in with lesser products. Winnebago doesn't make an opulent product. They make a really sturdy, really durable, really great product that will stand the test of time. And this is one of the most weatherproof coaches out there in the market because of how it's constructed. So one of the things that's interesting about this, and I'll show you underneath my kitchen sink cover, which is also a bamboo cutting board for the record. And also I have my pour and spray faucet that I can use to clean out the area. I have some items here. One of these is this flooring. So this you'll see is what's underneath the coach. So these air pockets that you see are almost exactly like what you have going in your cups. So when you have those Yeti coolers, everything is because it's got this air pocket in between, and then this really durable coin seal that you can actually just wash. So you'll find this material is used throughout all the flooring inside of all the bays. So we'll see this a lot, but that is actually a cross section of it. Another thing that's interesting is look at the thickness that you have for these. These are for your water containers. So you've got a 50-gallon gray water or 51-gallon gray water tank and a 50-gallon freshwater tank. But what's interesting about this is this plastic that you see here. This is the one that you'll see in the EKKO. This is the one that you'll see in the Revel. So they're different colors, but this plastic here, it comes in a really like soft granular like powder substance, and they have molds. So they pour this powder into the mold, and then it turns around, and as it gets warmer, it starts to melt. And then when it's coated the entire mold evenly, they take the mold off of it, and then they submerge it underwater, making sure that it's not leaking. So, hey, very cool. We already know that we have a bulletproof product that has 0 seams. Did you hear me? 0 seams, like not in the corners, not around, but more importantly, because manufacturing of this EKKO, about 75% of this product is done at Winnebago, by the manufacturer themselves. 75% of this product is created to fit exactly the mold that they're going for. So that water tank is designed to maximize the capacity of water, and it might look like a golf bag, it might look like a triangle, it might be circular. It just, wherever it fits, they can make a mold that fits in that situation. And one of the things that they take into account is they want to have within 100 pounds of weight on the left and the right hand side of this coach, so you don't get tipping going through the mountains. I mean, talk about mindfulness. But this is only the type of manufacturing prowess you get after you've been in business since 1968. No kidding, 1968. So even like little things, like where you're looking at this covering up here at this headboard, where I've got this great pocket depth, right? So let's go ahead, so I say it's great pocket depth. One of the things I watched in videos today when I was doing my research is that, okay, so that's 18 inches in there, man. That's a lot. And then up here we have another, God, it goes all the way back on the floor. What is it? It's 21 inches deep back here. So this is a lot of room back here. And there's also outlets up here where your TV is plugged in. You know, you've got your cable source here, you've got your Blu-ray player here, but this is a lot of space. And one of the things I noticed is there was no measurement, so I wouldn't, as a consumer, know what I was dealing with when I came into this product. So I wanted to measure today. But back to what I was saying about this, so they take this plastic and it's heated up to about 400 degrees, and this is just a cross member. This is all just from visiting the factory. Every time I go, I pick things up off the floor. But they melt this plastic, and it drops over whatever mold they want, and then they cut out the center of it, and they smooth it out so there's no sharp edges, and they're able to create all of these little components that give you this really fantastic fit and finish. So like I said, they're not opulent, but man, they're just so well built. So on the measurement side of things, about 17 inches here, 15 and a half for the entrance. The depth here of this cabinet is going to be about 14 and a half inches deep. And then in terms of how much room you have across, it's about 3 feet wide. So very, very cool storage here. And then above this, you'll see this really cool lighting that you have throughout this coach. So, I mean, just some really nice high-end features. Again, one of these windows that you can open to different, different levels of opening, as well as completely open, or again, you can kind of lock it so it's just barely open. Another thing to talk about here, so I'm sitting on this cushion. By sitting on this cushion, I am at the height of this table. If I didn't sit on this cushion and I was driving the coach, I would be a little bit low. So you can see, like, just a good mindfulness. It has a little attachment feature so that it won't wibble or wobble around. And then on this cushion, you'll see there is a number. So this number is the cover booster cushion for the cab. It's this number, and that will correspond with the material. And all these little ladies at Stitchcraft that work at Winnebago that make these covers, that made the covers, for instance, for these seats, all these little pieces can be ordered and replaced. So if Fido gets a little anxious because you've gone on a long hike and he's stuck inside and he eats your cover, no big deal. Just order another one. They'll ship it to you. They have bolts of fabric from the 70s. It's crazy. Now, one thing that they didn't make is this driver's seat, but I've got to show you this logo. So Jody, go ahead. I told him I was going to do this. This cracked me up with the wording when I got in here. I'd never noticed it before. You're not supposed to drive with your seat facing the rear. So make sure you turn that around, folks. Don't drive with your chair facing backwards. As Avin pointed out earlier this morning, if you did drive with your chair facing backwards and you got in a head-on collision because you didn't see the guy behind you, you wouldn't get whiplash. I mean, that would be good, right? Anyway, so don't do that. Let's go ahead and get this little guy up. So we're gonna go ahead and put this table down because this is something that's super important. For those of you that have littles, these are great booster seats. You can actually have a child car seat in here. You could have a booster seat in here, and there's enough room to actually have 2 people comfortably driving. So this is a family of 4 type of endeavor. Now, where are they gonna sleep? Probably outside in a tent, because this is pretty tight quarters. You might be able to get like a little bit of a sleeping bag in here and here if they were little enough. But there's also a pop top version of this RV. So if you want to have an EKKO in a Mercedes chassis or a Ford Transit chassis, they also come with that, you know, nostalgic pop top that everyone likes to see. And if you look back, I actually have a comparison of the Ford Transit and Mercedes with and without pop tops the whole way through. I did that a few months ago. Really cool video if you're trying to do some comparing and some contrasting. But anyway, so again, connectivity is paramount. Another 12 volt USB ports, 2 110s on both sides. It's just really, really crazy how much they want to give you access. And then again, take a look back here. Cable, there's your HDMI cord. Again, for your Insignia TV, you've got a sound bar. This is a very inexpensive option. And for those of you that want to write into me and say, why don't you ever talk about pricing? We can't. The reason we can't is we are on too many different platforms that have regulations. Okay, Jody, let's see. Am I doing it right? Okay, here we go. I'm hung up, on the door. So we don't do pricing on our coaches on our videos, but we're happy to give it to you. If you'd like to have pricing, just give me a holler. There we go. And I would be happy to give you the pricing on this coach. In fact, I have the window sticker with me right now. Make it look easy, you're on television. I swear I'm hung up somewhere. Oh, okay, well that's the kind of blow for my little demonstration of your dash, but actually this will be just fine. We'll do it this way. So one of the things I wanted to show is, I don't know if you heard it there, but my my steps just came in, so that's kind of fun because I turned the coach on. So one of the things that's nice about this coach is that it has Apple CarPlay. What's it mad about? It's probably mad because my seat's not turned around. Android Auto, Apple Maps, and then also you'll see that I have another great feature. I've got different types of drive modes that I can choose to drive with. So I've got normal drive mode, I've got eco, I have slippery, I have a tow and haul mode, which is gonna help me if I've got, my tow vehicle, I've got a 5,000 pound towing capacity. And then I also have mud and ruts. So I've got different drive modes that I can use for this coach. And again, you're working with an RV here that is all-wheel drive. So this is a game changer for those of you that are looking for that. Also, I have this telescopic adjustable steering column. Just lock it right in here in place. And then, as you'll see here, I also have, can I do my volume control? There we go. Volume control right here on my steering column. I've got my distance-based cruise control as well. So I can set my cruise control and up and down my miles. So if I'm following someone that way, I can just follow whatever vehicle I want in front of me, and I can change my following distance with this little button here. And then here with my center menu, I can make phone calls, I could change my radio station. I've got my windshield wipers right here, and then I've got my turn signals, and you'll see I've got my lane tracking package, and I've got my blind spot assist over here in that window. And I'll show that little insignia to you outside, but it's, like I said, everything is really nice. So when we started off on this endeavor initially, one of the things that we ran into with the Ford Transit was the chassis Oh, there it went. It just went. Oh, now I can turn around. But anyway, so one of the things that we ran into with this Ford Transit chassis, I think I said that backwards, I've got dyslexia, is we had to do a lot of things that were integrated into like the side pillars that were aftermarket. So one of the things that's really nice about this Transit is, you know, fast forward to 2025, everything is integrated. So it always had some cool stuff, like it's got a wind sensor, so if it feels like you're gonna be tippy, it's gonna help you to combat that wind, so you're gonna have a nice drive characteristic going down the road. But like I said, all of the integrated safety features are now just standard on this chassis, and they're really, really cool for those of you that are used to driving a high-end car, because this coach drives like a car. It's a really easy driving vehicle. So if anyone's out there that's intimidated, you can park this at a grocery store, you could park this at Walmart, you could park this in front of your house very easily. It's got a very narrow width to it. And on top of it, it is very low to the ground. It's very easy to drive, and it has all of the features that you're used to having in your high-end luxury cars. Another thing that's interesting about the EKKO product, either in the Ford Transit or in the Mercedes-Benz, is none of the vehicles that you're looking at in the big Freightliner chassis have airbags. These all have dual stage and side impact airbags. So that's a big difference for these products. Now you'll notice up here, we do have our vanity mirror that has a place for me to do my lip gloss. All of that being said, it has another one here. And then when I put this into reverse, which I'm gonna go ahead and just start her back up, even though it kind of beeps. I wanted to show some of this stuff. So if I put this into reverse, you'll see I have this really cool rear view camera. And it's a nice camera. You can really see in front of you. And then over here, you've got your front parking sensor. So if you're getting close to like a picnic table or anything like that, you've got that surround, it's not surround camera, but it's still giving you all of that same access. So very, very cool chassis. You know, one of the things that Ford's really done in the last few years is they've come up with this EcoBoost technology that people just love. So this is gonna have a lot of low-end torque. It's gonna have a lot of horsepower. It's gonna be all-wheel drive, and it's gonna be very, very competitive with the Mercedes-Benz chassis. So I wanted to pull out some of those features today, and I have all of this available, but the 3.5 liter EcoBoost is a 10-speed versus a 2-liter 9-speed with Mercedes-Benz. 211 horsepower, 332 foot-pounds of torque. The EcoBoost is 310 horsepower with 400 foot-pounds of torque. Now where that's really interesting is I think a lot of people go, oh, I need to get a diesel because it's going to be more powerful up the hill. Well, I hate to tell you this, honey. When you got this EcoBoost with 400 foot-pounds of torque versus 332 and an extra 100 horsepower, this is going to be a little more gusto on your foot. So if you're one of those guys who wants to get off the ground running, this is definitely your coach. Now, something that we've had the whole time that I just consider to be one of the best features of this coach is if I want to have my door open, fresh air, and I want to have my dog inside, and I don't want someone to come in while I'm gone, I can go ahead and lock with I've got a deadbolt up here, I can lock this cover, and I've got this completely metal door here. Even this portion is metal, so no one's gonna be able to cut through this or get into this portion, and I can leave my door open even at night while I'm sleeping safely with my deadbolt. Not another product like this. I wish they did this on every single Winnebago because it's such a cool feature. And if you've got a dog that wants to scratch at the door, it's not going to be making any kind of marks on your screen. Oh, check this out. Ready? Wardrobe change. Put the glasses down. Put the sunnies on. Before we head out, just want to show off the Xantrex inverters up here. Your solar capacities up here. Solar on this coach, 455 watts of solar coming into the Xamp controller here versus 530 on the Mercedes. So pretty cool there. As you can see here, turn on your coach, turn off your generator, all that stuff's right here. So I go ahead and hit stop. Maybe I'll leave it on. I'm not gonna turn it off. I want you to hear it because it's really quiet. We're gonna go ahead and hop out. And I want to start from the front of this coach. Oh, hey, did my awning go back in on its own? A little wind sensor. Carefree awning. So Carefree awnings have these like little bounce sensors, and if it gets too bouncy, they pop back in. I have the hardest time showing off awnings in Colorado because it's always just a little gusty here and there. We actually do have a cold front coming in. I was watching the news today, they said that fall is coming. We just had our last 90-degree temperature yesterday, so I'm a little sad. I'm not really ready for PSL season yet. I kind of was enjoying the summertime, but Colorado in the fall will be beautiful. Hey Jody, just take a quick gander inside there. Show that cool little LED light in the front, all that glowy stuff up top. It's just a very, very cool thing to come into. This is such a nice RV. The flying W there is to hang like a jacket, maybe your washcloth, just very smart stuff. And then you'll note that here we have all of the awning controls, all of your light controls, all of your house battery controls, all right here, very easy to access. And then below that, a fire extinguisher. Okay, so turn signals, big deal, right? When you're trying to get over in your big coach, there you go, nice big turn signal right here, nice flashing bulb. Another thing that's worth really pointing out here, bi-xenon high intensity headlights. High intensity headlights are so amazing. You still have your fog lamps. You've got your integrated cruise control, your radars integrated right here. There's your camera for your Mobileye system or lane tracking package, however you want to call it. But this is a really cool black grille, dark headlights. This is a badass little coach, honestly. And for anyone who's doing a long road trip, this one's going to have the most comfortable prowess going down the road. So this is, like I was saying, this is like getting into a regular car. For any of you that have mobility issues, this is pretty awesome. The other thing that's really killer about this coach, and these are things that people just don't cover in their videos, it makes me nuts. 1,639 pounds of crap. That is a lot of stuff you can carry. If you look at other products, there's a lot of products. You want to ask that question, because if you're bringing in your paddle boards, your bikes are probably a lighter weight, but still, any of those supplies that you want to have with you, you really want to make sure that you've got enough weight to carry those items. Otherwise, you can't carry that 5,000 pound car. And it's interesting, cars these days are starting to top out at like 6,000 pounds. So on that note, well, I'm just not going to do this because it's just not going to go into my pocket. On that note, we are working on a program right now. If you are looking for a tow vehicle, Transwest will be the authority for flat towing vehicles. We have Blue Ox coming out to do full training with all of our technicians and our salespeople, and we actually have a liaison into our Ram and Jeep store who's going to specialize in helping you to order vehicles that will integrate very easily and be flat towable behind your RV. So keep an eye out for that program. We're really excited. The rollout's just around the corner, but we already have all the people in place. We've already been doing all the research because flat towing is really convenient, way better than dollying something or carrying a trailer that you have to worry about getting stolen. Just so nice to be able just to drop your rig, pull it in and park, and then go back and get your RV if you're by yourself, or if you've got a partner with you that can drive the vehicle behind you, you can go ahead and get into really small spots that you couldn't normally get if you were towing something. So in this first compartment, so one of the things I wanted to do today, I showed you this floor earlier. So here's the flooring underneath. And you can see how it kind of bleeds over from the inside. So you've got like this little metal, this is not plastic, this little metal component around there. Again, all of this stuff that you see, like this little metal guide that's keeping your carpet, if you will, from getting frayed when you walk in. This is all E-coated material, and this is all stuff that Winnebago has made. And they take their material, so they cut their steel on their own, and then they dip this into 10 different vats, and they electromagnetically paint it by submerging it, so it's not spray painted on, it's not plasti dipped, it's actually E-coated, where it's molecularly adhering the paint to these products, helping you to have a more rust-proof product. But even on the outside, on the inner portions of your bay, you've got that E-coating, and then again, that's where you've got that air floor, and you can see how durable this flooring is that's peeking through here. This is designed because you can just wash it off. Now, one of the things I wanted to show though today is also, so 2 inches thick, just short of 2 inches thick, this foam core. That's what this entire coach is made of. It's almost like it's in like a little safety bubble of insulation. And what that means to you as a consumer is that you can put things in these bays and they're not going to freeze. You've got the best chance at having a very all-season RV up in the mountains. So if you want to catch first chair at Copper, if you want to, hit a basin, maybe head over, jump into Utah, make a nice road trip all the way up to, to Canada, hit Banff, whatever you want to do in this coach. This is your ticket to cold and, again, warm weather. Imagine all those hot climates where you've got this Mach 1 running for you. So you've got your great air conditioning, Mach 3. Anyway, you got your air conditioning. Everything is keeping you nice and warm, or nice and cool inside of your coach, or nice and warm depending on what you're after. But I wanted to show, so just gonna remove this little this little water hose. I'll take it with me as we go. But that's your outdoor shower right there. This could be an outdoor kitchen. I would probably keep a cooler in here. If you wanted to know what size cooler you can get, you're looking at about 17.5 inches deep right there. The width that the cooler could be at the deepest point is going to be 30. If you had a more narrow cooler, you could go up to 36 inches, 37. And then the height that you have here is pretty fantastic. From the inner seal to the inner seal, figure about 24, 25 inches in terms of that opening. So lots of room there. I've got everything open today just to save some time. Cable, once again, 12 volt. All the connectivity, I'm telling you, Winnebago is super interested in making sure that you have good connectivity. Another thing that they did a good job in, when we initially did these little guys would spin into oblivion. Now you just know that they're locked. They twist to a certain point and then they stop. So they're nice, they're locked. You've got up here your little 110 outlets and a nice little waterproof shroud. And then here we have one of the best features of this coach. So again, you've got your Truma system. This is going to be running your tankless hot water. It's going to be using propane and it's going to be using electricity. So you're going to have your inverter with your solar, or you're plugged into 30 amp, whatever it may be. But you can see here, you've got this nice little valve. So if I set this over here to the left and this tank is full, it will read green. And then as it turns red, because it's out of propane, it'll start to pull from this tank. I'll switch it over here, pull this tank out, replace it. This will be green, and I can just run back and forth continuously between these two tanks. You don't run it in the middle, you run it on one side or the other, and you run this continuous revolving door of propane. But where that's so cool is if you're out of propane, you can literally go down just about anywhere to get that filled up, or just buy another tank. Sacrifice your core charge. If you have one of your friends bring you back, one of your that's coming up to go camping with you, hey, I'm out of propane, bring me an extra tank from Home Depot or whatever. The quick connect down below, of course, is just so handy. So when we were up in Estes, we had our bonfire going, and it was funny because there was only 2 people and the park was just packed. But there was only 2 people in the entire park that we saw that had bonfires because they're on a burn restriction. And we have our outdoor camping, our outdoor fire pit, and so level 2 burn bans, you can't do that. But when you have an outdoor fire pit running off of propane, sitting outside of your cute little EKKO, bam, you got it made in the shade, buddy. So cool flooring here again. And then on this track, you'll see I have hanging here that comes with 8 O-rings. You can put those anywhere you want along the track of this coach. So you've got it up top, in the back, and in the front, down below as well. You've got a nice little lip, as you can see here, and I am going to measure this once again. For those of you that have bikes, I know this is a big deal. 5.5 inches on that little lip, which gives you a total, when you add the 23.5 here, your total width inside of this bay, for those of you with handlebars, is 28.5 inches. And then the height that you have here to get into this bay from the inside of the grommet to the inside of the grommet, right, because that's really what counts, is going to be 37.5 inches height. And then again here, let's just get these interior measurements, 23 inches wide. So 37.5 by 23. This little guy here is for your blind spot. So I told you we have that blind spot indicator in the mirror. That's one of those sensors that you'll see there. Now here on this MOLLE panel, module, something, lightweight, whatever it is, this is, again, e-coated, so gonna be durable, gonna be not painted, but dipped in that, again, that e-coating. It's also magnetic. You could use carabiners, you can hang your bike helmets here, you could hang your water hose here. You know, like you could really just like pretty much hang anything that you wanted on this panel. If you want to do your jewelry outside in the back, you could do that. I don't know. Hey, this could be like a very cool video or RV to show people stuff. Now on top, it does have it has the luggage rack. Again, it does not have the optional outdoor kitchen. The awning length on both of these is going to be 13 feet long. They're both going to have, again, 455 watts of solar on top of the Transit versus 530 watts of solar on top of the Mercedes-Benz. So those are the differences there. Holding tank's the same. LP capacity, you know, 40. And then fuel capacity, 31 gallons of gas on this coach versus 26.5 of diesel. So that's another great thing to talk about. And again, even this bumper here with your integrated parking sensors, all of this stuff is made for this coach, and that's why it works so well. Now, something else I wanted to show today, which I think is really important. I'm gonna go ahead and put this bad boy down right here. You can plug in my water hose real quick. These quick connects are so handy. Just pop it in there, hang your little hose up here. You can see you've got a gravity fill. You also have city water fill if you want to be plugged in. You've got 30 amp right here. This is very cool. So here we go. You can hear me running right now. It's a very quiet little generator. But so this glows when you're plugged in. So you can actually, this will turn green. So you'll know when you have connectivity. But then on solar, on that note of solar, you've got outdoor plugins too. So if you've got an array and you want to bolster your solar power, you can absolutely do that. Now, up above here, there's one of your rear view cameras, right? So you got your rear view camera up there. And then here, wanted to show one of the very cool things about this coach is going to be this Alu-Cab awning. So this awning here, as you can see, super cool. Let's roll it all the way down. Just got to get it out from around here. And very easy to stow, very easy to deploy. Usually I start with it in or out and go in, but I thought today, like, why not show how easy it is to get this 270 degrees out. There we go. So this is made in South Africa. You can buy different types of accessories for it. You could actually turn this into a screened room. So it has like a mosquito netting you can buy. So super cool there. And for someone who's little like me, to be able to come in and just set this up themselves, very cool feature. Okay, hold on. Let me let my latch out a little bit. I'm a little tight. Jody's gonna be like, Katie, I know you're short. You need my help? No, Jody, I'm gonna be fine, Jody, I got it. There we go. Just a little taut there. So, one of the coolest things about this aspect of this coach is when you are out camping and you wanna be able to, you know, deploy all your stuff on your own, get all set up, get, you know, your bikes underneath here, off the back hitch maybe. You've got this cool, very nice anti-drizzle area where you can keep your firewood out here, keep your bikes out here, bring the lawn chairs in if it's a little bit, you know, dewy at night, and to have access to your panels or to your garage again. And keep in mind, these are heat vents. This is a heated area, and you've got AC, DC power back here as well. You've got these little puck lights. So this is a very, very cool setup. I don't have the light on for the wet bay out here. But as you can see, nice illumination. You've got a gravity fill. Again, another heated bay with another vent register right there. And then I wanted to just zoom in on this, Jody, if you could. Dry camping, city water, power fill tank, winterize, siphon. All of these things are right here in your coach. There's your little light switch. So there's my little LED. So just very, very cool feature that you could actually not be a genius. You don't have to remember what to do. They've got these little dials that just tells you which way to turn them, and you're good to go. Another nice feature of this coach, again, gray tank. So you've got a cassette toilet, right? But if you want to take a shower and you're plugged into city water and you want to take a nice long shower without worrying about running out of tank capacity, very easily just plug in that gray water tank and you're good to go. The only thing you're going to have to dump by hand is going to be your black water tank. And this again is going to be 5 gallons. Very easy to roll. Take it over to the gas station, dump it, take it into McDonald's, dump it. Doesn't really matter where you go, you can just take it in and dump it. And then after you get it dumped, just pop the handle down, pick it back up, just dump it right here into your compartment, close it up. You can lock it as well so no one can take it. Again, all of these generator cabinets, everything has these nice simple locks. You can lock your generator. And as I mentioned, that whale pump there, that's going to be the pump that we were going to use to do all of our drainage. We did have an issue with that back in 21, 22. That was one of the first problems we have. So Winnebago redesigned the entire coach, put that down outside from underneath the shower so you don't have to worry about it. And you'll see there's another extra place for a battery there. So you could have 640 amp hours of battery storage on this coach as well as the generator. And in my estimation, that is 100% the way to go. I would probably also opt for the pop top, but of course that's up to you. Another nice feature here, there's your filling door. It just kind of, you know, camouflaged in with the rest of the coach. Very cool, no depth to worry about. And then I wanted to just show all these pockets here. You've so many different places to store stuff in this coach. So if you've got, you know, like I was driving down yesterday, we had 2 cup holders in the front of my Superstar, and I was like, serious? Like I have a cup of coffee and I got a bottle of water. My friend has a cup of coffee and a bottle of water. We're both like looking at each other, and I'm like, you hold 2 of them, I'll put the other 2 in the thing. I mean, it's just not convenient versus this where you could have like your, you know, your big old Stanley cup in there. You could have a pop, you could have all of it, Jody. Your whiskey, no, don't drink and drive, just kidding. Also, don't forget, don't drive with your seat facing backwards. Seriously? Okay, so there's that blind spot again. I know we talked about that sensor in the back, but that's your blind spot indicator. And I don't know, that's, oh, I should show under the hood. I know we talked about the horsepower and the torque on this coach. You know, for anybody who's interested in driving one of these, I've got tons of them. Oh, there it is. We've got a bunch of EKKOs in both the Mercedes and the Transit chassis right now. It's a product that we definitely believe in. We think it's got a lot of permanence in the marketplace. We're stocking them. We're making really good deals on them. We sell a ton of them. I'd love to have you give me a call and make an appointment. I've got someone coming in tomorrow from Steamboat, and we've got a whole bunch of coaches lined up that we're going to test drive. And that's how you should do it. And there's no obligation. You don't have to come in to buy something. If you want to come in to learn about the product, to see how it feels, to test it out, to stand inside of it, to lay on the beds, to drive them around the block. We're in the middle of Colorado. We have great frontage roads all around us, lots of countryside. There's not a lot of heavy traffic except for on I-25, which makes us really easy to get to. We're in the middle of the country. We're 25 minutes from DIA. I can't tell you, this is like the #1 place if you want to go shopping for an RV to come and look at the product. As you can see, all very simple. It's, this is a work truck, right? So easy to get service. These Transits are used from anything from plumbers to artists to moms, you name it. There's a Transit in the, out there in the world for you. So really nice, easy access for service departments. This particular one is 5N241173. This is very much how I would order this coach. You know, we have like 25 in stock, so I chose this one because it has the generator, because it has a juniper interior, because it has the single battery, because it has the luggage rack, and because it has the bat wing. And again, my name is Katie. I'm coming to you live from Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in very sunny Fredrick, Colorado. Let me know how I can get you out on the road camping. Thank you so much for tuning in.